Welcome back, everyone. Next up, we have Hawkmoon Resources Corporation. They trade on the OTCQB under the symbol HWKRF and on the CSE under the symbol HM. They're focused on two Quebec gold projects. The Wilson Gold Project, located in one of the world's largest gold-endowed areas, the Abitibi Greenstone Belt. And the second project is situated in the Belleterre Gold Camp, southwest of Val-d'Or. Please welcome the VP of Exploration, Tom Clark. Hi, Tom. How you doing today?
Good, Anna. How are you?
Great. We're happy to have you on this special conference. So when you're ready, please take it away.
Yeah, hi. My name is Tom, and I've been on the board of Hawkmoon since we listed. And before then, we've decided to focus on Quebec, and I'll go through our projects now. And we're happy to be here to speak to a different audience and meet other people. So I'll just go through a presentation, and we'll go from there. There's the usual forward-looking statements, which I'm sure you're all used to seeing. We're a junior mineral explorer. Head office is in Vancouver, and we have our mining projects are all in Quebec in Eastern Canada. So we'll go more into why Quebec a little bit later, but it's a very mining-friendly jurisdiction. They have, it's very friendly with a flow-through share system, as well as the regulations of the government. It's easy to get mining permits, drilling permits, and they're just open for business. So we decided to go there. I've been working in Quebec since 2010, and it's always been a welcome place to work. So we decided to have the company focus in a friendly jurisdiction, easy to get drill permits, and to grow the company for the benefit of our investors. Next slide here. Okay, management. Brandon Haynes is the president. He's got a market background. He's unable to join today because he's actually at the Quebec Explode conference. Myself, I am a professionally educated geologist, registered in Alberta, British Columbia, and South Africa. I did my master's in South Africa, which was quite a good experience. Got to see a lot of different things, be exposed to a lot of different, ore bodies and things like that. I've worked around the world quite a bit, but lately I have come back to Canada, and as the director of Belleterre Resources, we did the first mineral exploration, the mineral reserve estimate for the Gladiator deposit, which is in the same general area where Hawkmoon's operating. Our CFO, Jeff Balderson, is on several boards, and he's been also, everyone's been on the board since the beginning. Clémence Bertrand, she's currently on maternity leave. She's been very helpful in Quebec as she's fluent in French, and she has been kind of spearheading a lot of our promotional activity. Hugh Oswald is an independent director, and Eric Lemieux is another Quebec-based person. He's an advisor, and he's very, very experienced. He's actually presenting Wilson at the Quebec Explode this week. So just go to the our main property is the Wilson property. It's situated, it's easy to get to. It's located approximately 200 kilometers northeast of the city of Val-d'Or, Quebec. You basically just drive to a town, Belleterre, and you can access the property by those black lines, the roads. It's about 20 minutes east of the town of Belleterre, which is handy. It's easy to get equipment there. It's cheap to mob and demob. It's the roads, the black lines are year-round maintained roads, access roads. So if we want to work there any time of the year, the cost is minimal to create access from those roads, say in the winter to plow snow. To date, we've only worked in the summertime, but it's as you can see also, the gold stars all represent gold showings. We're in red. The dark red is Wilson. The light red is an extension we bought. And there's other showings to the southeast. And the big ones, we're going to talk about the two gold stars. The one on the left on our property is Duchesne showing. And the one a little bit to the right is the mid-rim showing. So that's the mid-rim and the Duchesne have been the focus of most of historical work, as has been the focus of our work to date. And we like to start, we kind of have the strategy of starting somewhere that's known and moving out from them and greaten the size of these ore bodies, rather than just going into an area and not really knowing much information. It seems to be a more rewarding and more focused financial way to develop the projects and go from there. So just go to the Bedrock Geology Map. The green rocks are all volcanics, the tuffs, andesite. The blue rock is a gabbro, an intrusive rock. The purple in the north is not really part of the main picture. It's a dioritic rock. What you see, if I can you see my mouse? If I move it? Anyway, basically this little blue line here, we have some gabbro and we've got at the contact of the volcanics. And where those two rock types contact is where we have the recipes for our mineralization, which we'll go into a little bit later. So that's where we're focusing our work. This is a map done by the Cartier Resources, who we've optioned the property from. It's kind of it's a thematic a long section, and it shows you to the left, the one that goes deeper is the Toussaint showing. The middle one on the right is, we're calling it Toussaint East, and he's calling it also Toussaint East. He's divided into two, but we've kind of put those together. And to the far right, you'll see on the map, it's not put on this long section. If you see the mouse right around here, you have the mid-rim deposit as well. So they're close together. The distance from the Toussaint to the mid-rim, the far west to the far east of is roughly a kilometer. There's obviously good and bad spots in there. So we're focusing on trying to understand the best spots to grow them, as well as to say other limitations. Can we grow them into some of these previously undrilled or unprospected areas? So there's lots of areas to work, and we just keep growing them as we go here. In 2021, we did a significant drill program. We had a lot of the holes were shallower. We did 28 drill holes totaling 5,000 meters. And we had these meters were divided between the Toussaint East, as well as the mid-rim. We called it mid-rim west. It was an area of interesting IP surveys, induced polarity, but unfortunately those three holes did not pan out. So we've decided we're going to focus on growing the Toussaint and growing the mid-rim, as well as we looked at another prospect as well this year in our 2022 program. We had each hole, these are maps of the Toussaint, and we see kind of the Toussaint East as well as the mid-rim in there. And these are kind of general lay of the land where our drills were located in 2021 by the red circles. And we kind of went all over the place. We did a couple safe holes. We wanted to do a couple twinning, just mostly to bring up historical non-43101 based data into the current regulatory system and applying it to regular standard quality and blanks as we logged and sampled all these cores. And we had some pretty good results in the area, if you can see on this table. So we were pretty encouraged by that. What we did realize is the mineralization, there's mineralized zones all over the place here, but they have to be a certain width and they have a certain appearance and certain percentage of sulfide. So the more we drill it and sample it, the more we kind of understand this. And when all these factors aim together, you get some pretty nice numbers. And so these are from the Wilson property in 2021. And let me just see. Yeah, these are all the Toussaint. There's another, the following slide will also show further results at the Toussaint. You know, there's some pretty good ones and some areas that the nugget effect is also an issue in the Abitibi of Quebec, as is our most kind of gold deposits. So that's the issue, that you have to drill it more than you planned on. Sometimes locally you come back and you find what you want, so it's a challenge, but we've been rewarded with the numbers we've gotten to date, which is great. And these are the Toussaint East. It was an exploratory IP-based area. We didn't spend much time on it, but it's there nonetheless. We tried to hook them together. And the mid-rim is actually where we had our best assay. It was a zone to the south based on an IP target. And this time we hit something with the IP target, which is good. We also, and that was hole HMW 2128. And in hole 2124, we did a slight extension to the west. It's always been a very structurally defined zone, and we wanted to see, can we kind of go out in different directions? And that was good to be rewarded somewhat with that. So as a group, we were happy to notice the potential to grow this area. This is just some, this is just showing just cross section showing hole 2128, which would be to the left. That pink line going down is just a gold intercept. And you see these red previously mapped areas, but they did not pay, so we're quite interested. We're originally targeting up here because it's some really good historical numbers in there, but there it didn't pay its surface. So it's a nugget effect. But we did see the zone. We did get grades, but instead we found a new zone at depth. So we're happy about that. As we discussed, we've had some discoveries and extensions at the mid-rim at the Toussaint. We've extended the Toussaint deposit to the east with holes 21, HMW 21.8 and 21.9. We have since returned there this year. I can't comment on the 22 programs. They have not been released yet, but that has kind of led us in 2022 to go further that direction, as well as go further to the west and to go deeper at the Toussaint. The mid-rim this year, we also went back there, but our program has generally been success. We first wanted to test known areas, step out a bit, and so far so good in our opinion. And let me just continue here. Yeah, so this year we were originally going to drill 5,000, and then we thought we'd just watch the market a bit. So we fine-tuned the program down to 3,000, and we focused more on deeper holes. We want to see how we can grow these zones at depth. So it was 10 holes. It was 6 holes in the Toussaint, 1 in the Toussaint East, 2 at the mid-rim, and 1 at the North Limb area, which is on the other side of the fold. So obviously I can't comment on exact assays, but we hit the targets in all the holes where we're looking for, which is good. So the model seems to be fitting, and it seems to be growing on last year's data. So we plan to be back here to give you updates as we get the results. We're just waiting on them. They're in the process. There's been a bit of a slight delay in the labs this year, but they seem to be picking up, which is positive. So we'll definitely up to date you as these results come in the future, as well as put out news releases, obviously, just to go through the details. And again, not all these red circles were drilled, but these ones and these 2 were drilled. There's a third deep hole, 3, 6, 7, 8, and there's 2 back here. So there's a total of 6 holes in Toussaint. 3 of them were deep. One of them, the other one is around in this area. We're trying to extend a deeper gold zone down here. We did 1 hole, chose to do 1 hole at the mid-rim at the Toussaint East, in this area. We decided to just drop that from 3 to 1. And as you go further to the east, we drilled 2 in the mid-rim. 1, this hole here, we drilled this to go underneath our hole 24 last year to see if we can deepen that near surface gold intercept. It was basically 10 meters down hole, so it's great. So we see if we can get this to grow it down a bit to create some tonnage. And here we wanted to drill, in the middle we drilled 1 of these 2 holes in between this hole we talked about last year, hole 28 with a high grade, and this other extension. So we're trying to see if we can just kind of grow a bit laterally and a bit at depth and try to just step by step see what this property can do. Just a quick longitudinal survey. This is a Toussaint. This circle was not targeted. We decided to target this circle here. So we drilled a hole just down in this area here to kind of see, can this red dot be extended slightly to the west? We did some extensions here from 8 and 9, and these deeper 2 holes should be down in this area here. 1 here, 1 there. Yeah, so we've got we're targeting different pierce points. We did not target this circle here, but we targeted the one at the top because we saw this one historical hole ended in mineralized material. It was a pretty decent intercept. So we want to drill kind of close to it, but go a little bit deeper to see, because if we can make this intercept here be higher grade or better thickness, whatever, to add more tonnage in this area. And as well, the mid-rim, we wanted to go below this original or hole 24 and try to hook together and have some longer intercepts below there. So obviously there's 10 holes, so it's not as many pierce points, but we tried to focus them as efficiently as possible to get as much bang for a buck, so to speak, and get a greater understanding of the general property in general. Again, this is a more detailed, showing the circles that we discussed earlier. Same kind of picture as before, so I won't really dwell on that. And this is again at the mid-rim, going more of a localized long section there. Now, the option agreement with Cartier Minerals, we're up to date on the payments. We're actually ahead on the work and the share issue, so that's good. Cartier Metals is ECR on the Venture Exchange in Canada. The president is a personal friend of mine. He's a very respected man in the business, and they're a good partner for us. If we ever need some questions or help, we can lean on them pretty hard, and they're always willing to help. So it's good to have a partner in business, so you're not just kind of there by yourself. So that's one part of that's one aspect that's helpful for us. Again, our budget's we decided to cut it back, so we basically did around $500,000-$600,000 in work, which is still a significant commitment. And the capital structure, it's mostly retail. Institutional investors hold a significant position. At this date, there's about 70 million shares outstanding here. And currently, we're a cheap deal right now. It's practically all companies in the sector. I think it's around 3 cents. So the buyer's market. Basically, it's a good, solid exploring company. Since we listed in April of 2021, we've drilled 8,000 meters on Wilson and 1,000 meters on our other property, Lava. Our management's good at what they do. We've all have different areas of expertise that we bring to the table, and it's an exploration company that does exploration. And sometimes companies focus less on the ground, and we as a group, we always want to focus on the projects, advancing the projects, with the goal of advancing the company. And to contact us, again, there's our address, the webpage, www.hawkmoonresources.com, and the contact numbers for Brandon. So you can also refer to Stockwatch. All our news releases are there, and that's kind of a quick summary of us. So, Anna, I'm open to questions from the audience if you have any.
Yes, thank you, Tom. Great presentation. Let's talk about your 2022 drill program. Can you summarize that for us, please?
Yeah, it was really good. I was out there. We went out earlier for a prospecting program, and then we hired a really good guy, George Yardenoff. He's a really good Quebec-based geologist. So he supervised all the core logging and sampling. We had the same driller from the year before, Faubert Fils. They're a really good drilling program in Val-d'Or. So we're the same people and the same general area, but we wanted to kind of expand on last year. And I feel like it was a really good success. We did some deeper holes. We found some interesting areas in our prospecting area. So we did one area in one hole in a new area. Yeah, I think it was a pretty good program, good bang for our buck. And well, now we're waiting on results.
Fantastic. So how would this program compare to the initial 2021 drill program?
It was more efficient because we kind of decided to hone in on certain areas. We want to go a little bit deeper. We want to look at the odds of creating more tonnage. So it was a more focused drill program, it was a more focused drill program. We want to see kind of what we have at depth a bit more than we did last year.
Can you also give us a general description of the project and the mineralization?
Yeah, basically the mineralization is both the Toussaint and the mid-rim zones have basically the ideal appearance. You have a zone whereby you have the intersection of two rock types. You had a volcanic rock, which is there first. And there it's an intermediate tuff. And then later stage, you had an intrusive come in and contact this tuff, the gabbro intrusion. The heat as a contact of the volcanics led to this mineralization zone. What you see commonly is a high degree of alteration. It's a brown color from your clay, your sericite alteration, a lot of calcite, a lot of veining, chlorite alteration. You will see some larger veins, but mostly they're parallel, centimeter scale veins that give it a striped appearance at times. The mineralization you'll see is something you like to see. You don't always see, but you often can see visible gold grains as well as pyrite veinlets. And if you have a zone that's 5 meters or less with 2% pyrite minerals or less, the odds are you have a pretty good result.
Well, thank you for breaking that down. Let's talk about the Abitibi Greenstone Belt in Quebec. Why there? Who are your competitors? Any majors producing? Talk to us about why it's special and why you all stand out as a company there.
Abitibi straddles the Ontario-Quebec border, so there's a lot of famous mining towns there. So you kind of go where where everyone else is to start, where the success has been. Val-d'Or translated to English means Valley of Gold. Then you got Rouyn-Noranda to the east, which is more of a copper town. Ontario, you got the famous Kirkland Lake. They actually call it the Golden Mile. Timmins, you got all these major zones, as well as these other ones to the north and these previously really underexplored areas of the Abitibi. Detour Lake mine is way north in an area of the Abitibi that no one even looked at. And so now they got this huge open pit mine. So there's lots of potential there. There's a lot of structures that go through the region as a whole. The closest not current producer, but near producer, by the looks of it, I'm assuming, is Osisko Mining. They've got the Windfall Lake project to the east of us. They also have claims that contact us in Wilson, which is like 150, maybe 110 kilometers away. So they're a major player in the area. As well, you have all the big names are there. Osisko's actually in Malartic, which is just west of Val-d'Or. They've moved the town to build the pit. So it's a very mining-friendly culture. There's a lot of professionals and a lot of technical people there, equipment drillers. It makes it easier for a new company like us to get in there.
Sounds like a fascinating region. There needs to be a movie or a series developed around that history there. Talk a little bit about your timeline. So any estimated timeline for getting the assays from the summer's drilling, and what can we look forward to in the near future?
Yeah, we hope to get kind of all the assays in. I'm really hoping. I got kind of the last holes kind of going into being prepped email recently. So I'd really like to see the assays, could finish them up, getting them all in by the next few weeks, hopefully. And obviously we would release those all to the public. I'm optimistic from what I saw from the drill logs. And obviously you don't know to get the numbers with gold, but I'm optimistic we'll have some good holes there. And we did one hole. We didn't really cover it on this presentation. We did a trenching program on the project with an excavator, but the problem there is a thick cover of sand. So you can only go down so far. But we did find a target and we drilled it, and we're looking forward to things like that as well. So there's lots of kind of moving parts still, but hopefully by the end of the month, we should have, in my opinion, hopefully we'll have all of our information and be able to start releasing that.
Great. And how's the market affecting your production?
The market's been tough for the whole sector, gold, non-gold, base metals. So that's the reality. So obviously we do the work that we think we can afford and do efficiently. We don't want to take any risks out there. So we just watch what the market does. So we're going to see, once we put our assays out to the market, we're going to see how it reacts and where that leads us. So until then, it's really tough to tell. But it's a real reality that every company here is faced with. So. Right. We have some pretty good investors. They see the story, they see the long-term play here, and hopefully we can attract some new people at these cheap prices.
Fantastic. Good point. Tom, do you have any closing remarks for our audience?
No, it's just great to be here. We've never been on the site before, so we're looking forward to, seeing who's out there who wants to talk to us, maybe get involved, give us an email, give us your questions. And we plan to be back here to further go through our assays as they come out. So we'll be able to contact you further and you can get more information. If you want more information, just click on our webpage and you'll be able to contact us easily there.
Great. Well, we look forward to you coming back again and giving us those updates. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Okay, everyone, stay with us. We'll be right back.